Have you ever thought about how many hours you spend animating even the smallest scene in Blender? Adjusting weight, tweaking gravity, fighting with physics, adding keyframe after keyframe, and it still doesn't feel natural. Making motion feel realistic with proper balance, gravity, and momentum is not easy. But what if I told you you could create a full animation using just two keyframes? Yes, two. Sounds impossible until you meet Cascadeur. Unlike animating in Blender, where creating something like a walk cycle can take hours of careful keyframing, Cascadeur makes the process much faster. Instead of spending hours tweaking poses, balance, and timing, you can create a solid animation in just a few minutes. That's because Cascadeur is built specifically to help animators handle things like weight, gravity, and balance automatically, making natural motion much easier to achieve. But can you really make a full animation using just two keyframes?
Time to find out.
From the start screen, select a character model to begin the animation process. After selecting a character, the next thing to do is double-click the waist joint of the character and move it slightly to set our starting pose. You'll notice there is already a keyframe at this point. Next, move the playhead to frame 100 and then move the character forward to create the second keyframe. You might notice that the character snaps back to its original position. If that happens, simply press F or click the key button here to add a keyframe first, and then move the character forward again. Once that is done, select the keyframes and use the AI tools in Cascadeur to automatically animate the character. After that, play the animation and you'll notice that with just the two keyframes we added, Cascadeur has already generated a walk cycle. To improve the result even further, you can enable physics correction or physics assistance. This helps a lot because Cascadeur automatically adjusts the animation, correcting things like balance, gravity, and body weight to make the motion feel more natural. Now once the animation is ready, we can bring it into Blender. To make this process much easier, we'll use the Blender Cascadeur Bridge add-on, which allows you to transfer animations directly from Cascadeur into Blender with just a single click. With the add-on installed, make sure automatic bone orientation is enabled, then click Import Scene. The add-on will automatically transfer the animation from Cascadeur into Blender. This may take a few seconds to complete. And just like that, the walk cycle is now imported and ready to use inside Blender. The important thing to pay attention to here is the pose. Think of it like a prompt. The pose you create at the start and the end is what Cascadeur uses to understand what the final animation should look like. So if you give it a strong starting pose and a clear ending pose, Cascadeur can analyze that information and generate the motion in between. In other words, set the key poses and let Cascadeur do the heavy lifting. And that's the power of working with AI-assisted animation. Now, if your animation doesn't play out the way you expected, for example, in my case, I expected a running animation, but the character ended up walking. That's usually because of the space between the two keyframes. When the gap between them is too large, the character has more time to move, which makes the motion look like a walk. Simply reducing the distance between the keyframes should fix this and make the motion faster. And that's the basics of animating with Cascadeur using just two keyframes. You can get this software for free with the option to upgrade if you want access to its premium features. It's a really powerful tool for animators, and it can save you a huge amount of time when creating natural looking motion. And that's the basics of animating with Cascadeur using just two keyframes. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing for more content like this, and I'll see you in the next one.